Hey everybody, welcome back. So fast forward, here we are. We're out in the pasture, kind of. That's where we were before. Um, you can see they did quite a bit of damage to it. I mean, disturbance. I won't say damage because they actually, I think, helped it out. This was all buckthorn overgrown with trees. Some of these trees still have to come out of here. We rent this, so that advantage goes to the landlord. The reason this is all closed in like this is we had to close that in. We backed the trailer up to this end. We backed the trailer up to the end of this, and we used that trailer, which I discovered one of the bolts missing out of the spring, and that wheel is kind of cocked. Didn't notice it. So that needs to be fixed before I can take that on the road. But we backed the trailer up to here. We used this board to kind of block them. We used a piece of plywood as a ramp, and I stapled some carpeting too. And we kind of channeled them into here, so they were just within that steel area. And we put a bunch of food on the trailer. It took 20 minutes or so. They finally did get up there. This is kind of the mess from that. This isn't, usually like that, but we used the stapler to staple some carpet to the plywood. So they're out of the shelter now. That tractor came in handy. We towed them back there with the tractor on this trailer. It was super useful. Still don't know if this was a good buy yet. It looks good. It's got some issues, and they're hard to find parts for, I think, but it runs. It's been working so far, so we'll see if it gets me if I can do the lawn with it. It's a lot of lawn. I think I made a big mistake by buying a lawnmower. We had people coming out here and doing it, and they had two professional lawnmowers that went very fast, and it took them an hour. So it's 2 hours for that. So it's going to take me 8 hours with that thing to mow the lawn. But we'll see what we can do. We're learning. I really wish we would have been able to get out here and utilize this field more with some beef, but I don't think we're going to be able to do it. And I think that's the ultimate goal for us, is to get into beef farming. We're actually looking at some property in Missouri. We're in Wisconsin right now, and it's cold. I mean, it's April. It's on the end of April right now. I still have snow melting over there. It's almost May, so it's just ridiculous. But what I wanted to show you is the setup. So I've got this water. I put them out there last night. This water I built last night. I picked up the bucket the day before yesterday. We've got a water nipple. We've got a 3/4 inch ID washer that goes on the outside. Fit perfectly on. There's just a little lip on there, so you can basically drill I think it was 1/2 inch hole. No, it's a 3/4 inch hole. I used a smaller bit. They didn't have the one that I was looking for, so I got a smaller one. Next time I would have just gone with a 3/4 inch bit. Maybe it worked. I'd kind of file it out and just sort of drill it open. It kept its round, and then I heated up the nipple. You take out all the parts internally, because there's some plastic parts in there and an O-ring. So you take those parts out, you heat the nipple up. And by the way, I got this from watching a video on Lumna Acres. If you've been Googling around for this stuff, you've probably already seen those videos. It was very helpful. Thank you to them. If you happen to see this, I might post this in response to their videos. Everyone out there that's put things on YouTube I wouldn't have been able to really do this without those ideas and people posting online. Very helpful. The next thing is to build the feeder. I have all the material for that, and I'm actually using some plans that are from the 1940s that you can find online. There was a site, I'll try to post a link to it if I get time, but if you're Googling around, Lumna Acres did a similar model. You'll see that model. This one was kind of like, there's all these designs that a university had put together from the 30s up into the 60s. These people have been doing this stuff, and they were smart then too. So, and it works. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. I mean, if it worked, it worked. So I'm really happy to see that this is working. I'm going to try to get this up higher. What I have to figure out next is how to fill this barrel up. Um, the transport of it. I don't have water out here, so I had to move this barrel out here by trailer, jump it off the trailer, throw it out there. It's super heavy. I probably shouldn't have filled it up. So what I might do is get another barrel and kind of use that as the transport barrel. Leave that on the pallet strapped down, or leave that on the pallet, 2 pallets, so it's up higher, and then just pump the water either from another barrel into that one, or just use a milk jug or a 5-gallon bucket or something like that. So that's where we're at. This is our setup. I'm pretty proud of it. It took a while. We've been reading and watching and wanting to do this for years, and we'd never done it. And to be doing it, I can't tell you how awesome and rewarding this is. It really is. And we're working towards a goal of being able to do this in a big capacity someday. Really, we're trying to do Joel Salatin's model. That's going to take a long time because Joel Salatin's had that farm for 25 years. So if we can get anywhere near that and do this, that's our goal. I showed you the solar setup before. It's out here. Pretty easy setup. That Patriot Energizer was $100 on Amazon. I got the solar panel on Amazon, and I got the solar charge controller on Amazon. That was $15. The panel was $38. I had the battery laying around. And then I ground rods. I got 3-foot ground rods off of there too for $20. Came with the wire that you see right there. It's kind of a thick wire. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the ground rod. I'm only using the one. The ground's pretty wet right now, so you're supposed to keep the water wet around the ground rod so that it makes better contact with the soil. The deeper you go, or the more that you have. So you can do 3 of those, and kind of daisy chain them together, I think. So you have more contact, and that helps with the discharge. So as you can see, the water is working pretty good. I feel like they're drinking more water. I feel like that trough was not. That was the worst thing ever. They were walking it emptied every day. I think it got dirty so quick. I don't think they were drinking enough. And when we went to the place to get them, we noticed that they had a group of them that the water had shut off, and they didn't know it. And these pigs were significantly smaller. So if your pigs don't have water, they're not going to grow. And I don't feel like these guys have grown significantly. I'm probably wrong, because this guy, they lifted him out of there by his back legs. And they were 50 pounds when we got them. I think they're growing. But we'll see. I think once they're out here, and now they've got a little more space. It's a rectangle. They're not confined. They're not having to worry about getting shocked. But all I have holding them in right now is this electric pig netting that I got from Premier One. It was $88 for 100 feet. So I got 200 feet. You saw 100 feet still over there. I was thinking about linking those together and giving them a bigger area, like maybe running them out here. And I might do that, just to see how that would work. And there's a metal clip on the end of this here, so you'd clip them together with those metal clips. You'd clip those together, and that's how you can chain those together. And you don't connect them at the end. They don't get connected in a circle or a circuit. They need to be left open. But this has worked perfectly. I couldn't be happier with this. This pig netting, I have nothing else securing this property. And so we tried them inside of that fence enclosure first and never had an issue. They won't touch it now. They were before because they'd be a little close to it, but they won't touch it now. So this is all really exciting. I think things are going pretty good. We're going to keep updating you throughout the course of the summer. Like I said, the next thing's the pig feeder. Once we got that, I'm done. So really, this setup right here, if I had a bigger opening, and for next year, with the feeder, it's going to be a 3-panel feeder. So there'll be three access points for them to get feed. And as you can see, I had to put the stakes in it. These are horrible. They're spilling all over. I am loving this water though. I just, they're drinking a lot more. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's just the setup. I just don't recall seeing them go to that trough as much. And I think because they were constantly in it. Um, so with this shelter here, I think you could do about 10 pigs in there. This water, you know, you could just make another one, but that'll support more than 4, and that feeder will support more than 4. So next year the goal is 10. We'll see how this year goes because we still have to get through butchering and trying to figure out. You see how they're rooting that grain all around? Yeah. So gets on the ground, and that's non-GMO grain. That's about $13 for a 50-pound bag. And I had to dig to find it. They wouldn't let me go to the feedlot to get it. They made me go to a distributor who charged me $2 more. They were going to give it to me $11 for 50-pound bag. I got 1,000 pounds of pig starter, and I'm gonna have to go get more. So it was like $270 for the food. I'd already bought some starter stuff from the Tractor Supply, so I'm in a few $100s, and these guys are killing me with this food. So once I get that feeder, I can load the feeder up with 100, 200 pounds and just let it go. And if you've ever seen those, they kind of come up. It's got a door that's kind of angled, and they flip up the door with their nose, and they go in and eat, and then the door closes. Once we get that set up, this operation's automated. The only thing I have to figure out at that point is how to move them. And the bigger they get, but you know, I got 2 sections of fence. Like I said, you know, I can connect the fence there, run it out around here, open this up, so they go into that fence, and then close it up, and then just kind of move them around. And that's the idea. I might move them, even just keep them going that way. Disrupting a deer trail right here. This was a trail for them, so that's going to disrupt them a little bit, but that's okay. Anyway, thanks for taking a look. Hopefully this is helpful to you. If there's any questions or anything that you have, please ask. I'll try to get to them in the comments, and I can post links to some of the other resources that I had. Check out Lumna Acres. Check out From the Ashes Farms. That's where he did a design of this that I liked. Lumna did. I've seen these. You know, they're all over. It's just you got to get somebody to actually show you what they did. You know, how did they do that? So heating up the nipple and threading it in there was a big help. And that's what I learned from Luma. If you can see that the wheels that I put on the back of this, what I messed up with is I didn't put them far enough out. So I'm going to re-drill a hole and move them back, because when you're trying to reverse this thing, it doesn't work. They just get stuck in the ground. So I dragged this out here with the tractor, and I used the trailer that came with it, and you know, we got it close enough, and then I kind of worked it back there myself. So if I'm going to keep them here for a week or 2, you know, we'll see how beat up this gets. But if I'm going to keep them here for a week or 2, you know, that's okay. I mean, that's not much work. And if I got an automatic feeder, I can use let the water run out, dump the water out, use a dolly to move the feeder. I can pick that up by hand and move it 20 feet. And that's, you know, essentially, I wouldn't have to do anything with these guys for a week at a time. I mean, you're going to come check on them, make sure the battery's still going and everything's good, but you could do this without much work. Next year will be much easier because we'll have all this stuff. And, you know, we'll jump up to 10 pigs, and then we're going to start marketing them. And we're going to start going with, I think we're going to get some different breed if we can. These guys were $75 each. So I think if I go with like a pasture breed, they're going to cost a little more. But we'll see. Anyway, thanks everybody for checking this out. I really hope that this is of help to somebody, but I'm having fun doing this, documenting this. This is, I don't know, I can't imagine having more fun. So thanks again. As you can see, these guys are just going to town. They're getting some roots, they're getting some greens, they're getting water, they're getting food, they're getting sunshine. So this is great. You got some happy pigs here, and we'll see how this all goes in the future. So check back in, and you can just follow up with us. Maybe we'll do one where we move them, and I'll show you that. I'll try to show some detailed video of building that feeder. And of course, when I build another one of these, I might show you how I did that. But thanks again for checking it out. Come back, and we'll see you later. Bye.